Welcome, everybody. It is Taco Tuesday. What a day at the Combine. Oh, my goodness. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon, going to take you through a wild day at the Combine. It started early. I got to the Indianapolis Convention Center at about 7:30 in the morning, got my credential, and I sat and people watched. I will take you through what it's like to be at the Starbucks at the busiest NFL Starbucks in the world. Oh my goodness. NFL owners, the commissioner, a Lions potential president candidate, all walking through, saying hi, nodding to the doc. I'll take you through the day. And then I helped out a little bit. I was able to check in on a lot of media sessions, and there was a lot of Detroit Lions news in regards to what other teams thought of the hires that the Lions made. Obviously, the Giants and Mike Kafka. So lots to talk about. Then Brad Holmes spoke, and he addressed Taylor Decker, David Montgomery, the center position, my thoughts, all of it. But I want a lot of your reaction because you guys know at Detroit Podcast, we hammered it. We didn't ask just one question. We asked a lot of questions. We brought news. And there's a lot of interesting things to talk about. First and foremost, let's go through the day. You get there early, you set up, you get your credential, which is always good. You go and you see what's going on. You have an opportunity. The Starbucks is bumping. I ran into today Brian Duker, the new Jets defensive coordinator. Mike Vrabel comes walking in. Tony Khan, the owner of the Jaguars and AEW, if you're a wrestling fan. Leslie Frazier, Roger Goodell, Mike Disner, Diz, as he goes by, from all the fans and all the people that were like, hey, Diz, what's going on? Very popular. Disner caught up with Brian Duker hanging out there, and there's a long line. So when you don't just get your order and wait the normal 4 minutes. No, you wait in line, and everybody has their name. So Tony Khan comes storming through. He's late for a meeting. I'm like, Tony Khan, Mr. Khan. He's like, I'm in a meeting. I'll come back. He was racing to where he was going. So it was a brief hi, and that was it. Everybody else was just very cordial. It was very interesting to people watch. I saw Leslie Frazier, and I saw the fellas, Booner, Hefe, and Klotz. Good people. They were hustling, doing their thing. TM Martine with a $5 super chat. Humbly, thank you. Hello, Doc. Did you attend Brad Holmes' interview presser? Rather cut Decker and pick up Trent Williams. That's very interesting, right? I did attend Brad Holmes' session, and I will give my reaction in just a few because I'm kind of similar to some supporters. Yeah, it's good to have your left tackle shored up, but it's expensive. That almost means you can't go after Linderbaum. The notebook that's going to probably come out tomorrow is going to address that, which is all the splashes that people would want. You're not going to get Linderbaum. Maybe that means Cade Mays. Maybe it means you make the choice and you just go with it and you move Tate Ratledge there. You can't pay Campbell, Laporta, Gibbs, and go out and get these high price. You can't make a splash. I don't see how this works. That $18 million would have helped, but we'll talk all about it. Oh yeah, I was there. I asked Brad Holmes 2 questions. I didn't ask anything to Dan Campbell because it was a lot of stuff that we had already kind of discussed at a very basic level with the roster. His thoughts on the defense was very interesting. Very interesting stuff. My phone's blown up. So what did you guys think? Here, so you go through, then the media sessions, then you start typing. Then afterwards, after you break down Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, I and a small group of local beat writers had a chance to sit down for an hour, half an hour each or so, 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so with Kelvin Sheppard, about 20 minutes with Drew Petzing. I just put up the most controversial thing that Kelvin Sheppard said, which we'll talk about. Kelvin Sheppard is very confident in the Lions defense. Something to debate, but he does understand that their changes need to be made. But he's very confident in that defense. So before we sit down, literally like 60 seconds before we sit down, Taylor Decker goes on social media and announces his return. And so you're just like, whew, there's so much news. Dan Campbell talking about the defense, Brad Holmes talking about Monty, the draft. There's so much to get into. And if you followed Lions on SI, I hope that you felt that you were there. Videos, quick analysis. First things first. Most important, in my mind, that was a question I asked to Brad Holmes. It's a position of need, and we're going to go through the big stories one by one. And we'll be here till about 8 o'clock. And then me and the fellas are having some cocktails, hopefully. I'm tired. Did 9 stories today, me and Emmett. I'm proud of Emmett. He did great work, did 3 stories himself. He broke down. He got to Indy. He broke down the analysis of Brad Holmes, and I did Dan Campbell. And I just did Kelvin Sheppard, but there's so much content. All free, Lions on SI. You can see some of the video analysis, video highlights from Brad Holmes on our YouTube channel. So everyone is nitpicking parts of what Brad Holmes said. Obviously, guys, there is a common sense approach. The Lions want David Montgomery back. They are never going to say, we don't want that player. But how do you show love to a player that's on your team? You give him the football. Let him eat. Brad Holmes said the other side has to want to be here. And I just think common sense dictates it. Common sense dictates it that a competitor wants the football. Don't you believe? Think about it. Just on a common sense level. You're David Montgomery. You're making $8 million, which is good, but you're about to see Jahmyr Gibbs get 20 million plus, maybe 21, maybe 22. You can't convince me at this point in time that David Montgomery, as a competitor, wants to come back, even if the whole Lions organization loves him, in my mind. In my humble assessment, David Montgomery's getting traded. And when you have a talk with an agent, the agent's going to say, find me something where you get me to a good team and I can have a chance to start. One Repub knows we're doing the reporting. Your friendly, homie, insider, reporter, journalist, writer, podcaster, trusted source. Riley, busy day, man. Busy day at the office. Get your super chats in. Questions with super chats go right to the front of the line, automatically read. Tailor made. Looked like Coach didn't have his teeth in. You know, listen, I'm trying to listen to the man. I'm not looking at his teeth. You tell me. I am not looking at Dan Campbell's teeth. Let's keep it real. The food at the combine is, sandwiches, salads, good breakfast, danishes, all that good stuff. Coffee. You're not going to get terribly full, but you're going to be okay. You'll be taken care of. Donkey Kong heard it. Brad virtually said he's trading Demont. And that was the question that I asked. There were so many good questions. And it's a free-for-all. My opinion is David Montgomery's gone. What's your opinion? You agree? Understand there's two sides. Remember, a sentence is obviously always going to be positive from the Lions. Like, we love that player. We love him. We love that player. But at the same token, David Montgomery has to want to be here. And if he's a competitor, if he wants to be second fiddle to Jahmyr Gibbs, I would not be happy. I would say something is wrong. I would say you are accepting a role that you might not be comfortable doing. I think he can start somewhere. Don't you think, do you guys think he's just a suitable number 2? I think he can start and be productive somewhere. That's erroneous. That's very funny, but that's erroneous. I got to the media sessions faster. I got myself in the best position possible. Prime seating, front row both times. I don't know what the broadcast was like. Did you hear the questions? I don't know. How did the broadcast sound? That's erroneous. I have, let's say, 4.7 speed, and Booner's about 4.9 on a good day. Xavier, Monty does not control his destiny, however, he's under contract. But you don't want an unhappy player because that's just noise. Because if he's on the roster, we're just going to always talk about, okay, why are you only getting 7 carries? You have to give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs. You got to get the ball to Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Tesla, Laporta. There's so many footballs, and I think you got to part ways with Montgomery. You got to get that 4th rounder, maybe a 3rd if someone's desperate. Zach, Brad should have forced Decker's hand and basically told him if he plans to return, he will be cut or traded. Ooh, Zach. Jumping ahead, but lets his thoughts be known. Ooh, Zach is playing hardball. I like it. I like your stance. TM, Dan Campbell's teeth might get a glow up like Matt Stafford's. Steve is a fan of the goat tee, the Dan Campbell goat tee. Anthony Tottenham, 3181. I don't know. I'd have to ask myself this question. Do I want to play on a Super Bowl winning team or has the potential to go to a Super Bowl and win it? Or do I want to play for the Jets? If you're talking about Alex or whoever takes money. Kelvin Sheppard said, this is Jack Campbell's defense and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Oh. Make sure you guys, 20 minutes in, smash the like button. The Combine is the NFL world, man. Everybody's here. All the ESPN reporters, all the reporters are here. It's like an NFL convention. You see everybody. Pro Football Talk, CBS Sports, Yahoo Sports, NBC Sports, Tom Pelissaro, Mike Garafolo. I have not seen Ian and Rapsheet yet. I have not seen them browsing the hallways yet. But what do you guys think? Bottom line, do you think David Montgomery is back? I do not. I do not believe that to be the case. Now, my opinion is similar to you guys. I think Taylor Decker solves a problem. It lends you to be more confident that Jared Goff will be protected, but I'm concerned. His salary is elevated, north of $15 million. He now takes away money that you could spend to maybe outbid the Ravens for Tyler Linderbaum. Eric DeCosta said, and look, everybody knows it, good players barely ever hit free agency. Linderbaum, Max Crosby, it's going to be potentially at this point thought of to be costly to get them. But Taylor Decker returning, I don't think it prevents you from going out and getting an offensive lineman in the draft. But I just think it hurts your free agency chances. You may have to, if there's a guard out there, a veteran guard, might be a little cheaper. If you move, would you move Tate Ratledge to center? Second-year guy, give him the reins? Whew. I don't know about that. What was your reaction to Taylor Decker coming back? Are you for it? Not for it? What do you think? Make sure you smash the like button for the doc. MC3 who dat? Cade Mays would be a good long-term setter if we get him. Oh, did you guys hear my questions, man? Thank you, Eastside. That's cool. Excellent Combine content and questions today, Doc. That means a lot. That's why you travel. That's why you grind. That's why you wake up at 5:30, get down there, eat breakfast at the hotel, away from the family till Thursday. Bring you guys coverage like you are here. If you follow at Detroit Podcast, my role is to make sure you feel like you're here and to box out everybody else. Appreciate you, Eastside. That does mean a lot. Nuga, you demand, Doc. Donkey Kong. Decker needs to change his mind. Dr. Detroit, it's time to move on. More crap GM moves by this guy. He's good for drafting, but building a team, nope. I know maybe the tough decisions are hard because here's the thing. It's not one of those easy decisions, right? You got to protect Jared Goff. He's making $50 million. You can't have inexperience. I would move Penei Sewell and take your chance with Manu or Mason Miller or somebody that is on the roster, or draft someone. Would you draft Jake Slaughter, like another listener said? Whew. Court Major knows what's up. Glasgow has to not be the starter. Connor Liu also has that quickness. He's also on the injury situation from his time in college. Jason Mallory, do you think he just goes with Ratledge at center? I think, it was asked today. Brad Holmes has already addressed this. We asked Brad Holmes about, we asked in the media about Tate Ratledge when the season ended, and he hinted that it's still up. It's still something that they're going to consider. And now he was asked again, and it's something that they want to do. He fits the profile, but unfortunately, you don't do that in a Super Bowl window, right? You don't have a first-year guy doing it. You need experience. I draft the best lineman regardless of position. Figure it out in camp. Caleb Lomu could play guard for a year if we get him. How would you guys handle it? Would you still draft an offensive lineman? Would you draft Taylor Decker's replacement? I would. I still would. Now, I also asked Brad Holmes, and he actually assessed his own answers from the past. I said, Brad, I'm hearing whispers that this is a deep defensive end class. What do you think? And he started waffling. He was like, well, in the past, I've kind of talked a lot about this, and he probably assessed that this is where all the talk goes. He's like, well, if I talk about defensive ends, then everybody's going to keep talking about it. Did you see his face when he was talking about it? He was like, I'm going to reserve the talk about my feelings on the class. But he did say, which was funny, he waffled. He said, the draft could be deep today, but not deep in April. Well, we have GM beef. Because when Brian Gutekunst, the Packers GM, I asked him directly, do you think it's a deep defensive end class? He's like, yeah, there's numbers. Right away. He didn't even like think about it. He's like, oh, yeah, I can see a lot of numbers. So I would think that because Brad tried to hide it and it was confirmed by a GM, I think this is a good defensive end class. I think the Lions are in the market for a defensive end. And then you have Ahmed Hassanin developing. This is good. Phil C., have any of the new coaches brought coaches with them? No. Not yet. AG's burner. Lions, though, since they are potentially in a championship window, should go all out for Linderbaum. They should, but the Ravens have made a record-setting offer. Which, how would you decline it? Oh, I also saw Drew Rosenhaus, the super agent. Telling you, man, that guy's got aura. When he walks through, he's got that stern look. Drew Rosenhaus has aura walking through that building. Let me get the notes here, who I saw. The Starbucks, no fights. The Starbucks fun. You get to sit. I saw Mike Vrabel, Brian Duker, Tony Khan, Mike McDonald. I saw the Super Bowl winning coach, Leslie Frazier, Roger Goodell, Mike Disner, Diz, as he's called, and the Jets defensive coordinator. Disner did dab up Brian Duker. People going through meetings, a lot of coaches. It's a fun place to hang out. Get a Starbucks, hang out a little bit. It's a long walk from the convention center. Whew. You get your walks in for sure. Drew was jeans, kind of like how the doc dresses. Conservative, nothing crazy. If one of you drops a super chat, I'll tell you what he said when he was asked by the Lions what he's doing tonight. One of the Lions asked him what he's doing tonight. I will spill the beans. Because guess what? Drew Petzing has no plans tonight. No work plans. How many women, female? A lot. The Chicago Bears reporters there. Josina Anderson. There's a lot. The ESPN's reporters were there. A lot of women reporters. But, I mean, it's still 3-1 men. Hola, Gavis Con. Always good to see you in here. Court Major, why did they not just name Disner president? From what I'm hearing, the Lions are going to do a massive global search. Disner might not even be the favorite for the job. We got 200 people here on a Tuesday, halfway through the show. Please smash the like button. Let's try to get to 50, 60 likes per show. Doc, if you could be in a Lions movie, who would you want to play? I want to play if I could be in a Lions movie, I guess now I could be the next Drew Petzing. but I would probably play myself, the angry reporter. I would play the makeup artist for Danny Rogers when she was there. It was a little different not seeing her around. Just thought about that now. If you guys were to put me in an AI movie, what would you put me in? In a Lions AI slop movie, what would you have happen? Would you have Dan Campbell come down from the podium and powerbomb me? Would you have him dabbing me up? Right, Phil C. The angry Lebanese trainer in the locker room. No, I want to be the one that's giving the speeches. I want to be the Hard Knocks camera operator that gets to tell the speeches. I'd play the kickoff returner. What would you do to make an AI movie with the Doc in it? Doc, you need to set a booner with a guy. Maybe tonight. I'll report back tomorrow. I'll report tomorrow on the download what is Booner's sexual orientation. Doc, would you play the sports reporter from Any Given Sunday? Maybe. Austin Taylor, good to see you, brother. Don't know if you touched on it yet. What are your thoughts on Decker staying for one more year, Doc? I feel kind of bummed about it because he was not practicing most of last year and expensive. Not bummed, but looking at the long-term building, you can't get a free agent. No splash. Now, basically, you get $30 million. You get $40 million. Minus 10 is 30. You want to keep 15. Basically, you got to extend people. You got to buy your own guys. Al Quadine, Roy Lopez, Jack Campbell's getting an extension, but some of those won't kick in. I just find it difficult without moving on from Decker to have more money. But at the same time, you have the player, and he's probably going to be the best option at left tackle. I want him cheaper, though. I want him cheaper. It's tough to build a good team. You guys know it. It's tough. And I think, guys, you fans are actually, I'm very proud of you. You're questioning it. You're not just like cheering his return. Good, question it. He's got to produce. He was hurt last year. He can't be a charity roster spot. He's got to produce. I'm proud of you guys. I just don't think his body has more Lions Live in it. He's grinding to play. So luckily it means he doesn't need surgery, which is good, a good sign. It means that he probably feels ready to go health-wise, that he can contribute and be a part of this team, I think, for one more year. Now, Brad Holmes was asked about making a splash, and so was Dan Campbell. He was asked about the draft. He was asked about the salary cap. And look, most people understand that the Lions salary cap is manageable. But it's not to the point where you can make a lot of splashes. You know, you're not going to spend $100 million in free agency this year. So you got to hope that the draft evals are going to turn out. And they said that they're continuing their talks about Branch, Campbell, Gibbs, Laporta extensions. Common business stuff. What was your biggest takeaway from either Dan Campbell or Brad Holmes? Obviously, the thoughts on Monty were interesting. The thoughts on the defensive end. The thoughts on the roster. I think that Brad Holmes has been a lot more open at times, and Dan Campbell as well. Dan Campbell wasn't as newsworthy, other than, he's kept. Now, the other thing from Dan Campbell, man, it just, It's a slow process with Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. They're not rushing it. It's still a wait and see till after the draft. I think you'll know. You'll get a clue at the draft where if we start talking next month, if they draft Taffy, if they draft a safety, you will know. You will know that the confidence is not there. What was your biggest takeaway from Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes? How was the I have not checked it out, but because I was there in person. How was the audio content? Drew Petzing, just a straightforward kind of guy, sneaky funny. What did I ask Drew Petzing? I've forgotten. I know I asked Kelvin Sheppard about his Miami interview. Oh, I'll write about it tomorrow. I asked directly, if your defense is going to succeed, what do you need from Terry and Arnold? And he had a direct quote. And it was along the lines of, in a most respectful manner, to be more professional. Do more, say less. But in a respectful way. They talk a lot. So you'll see the full comments tomorrow. You'll see a notebook tomorrow. You'll see a preview of a Michigan defensive lineman the Lions like. You'll see the defensive end coverage. Which defensive ends do you want me to talk to tomorrow? Zion Young, Cassius Howell. Tomorrow's defensive ends, and then I'm getting out of here. I'm going to let Emmett hit all the prospects. I wanted to hit the major NFL news, and Emmett's going to hit the prospects. Which defensive ends do you want to know about? Derek Moore, Zion Young. We'll try to get as many as possible, some information, and sprinkle it in throughout the day at Detroit Podcast. We have the tracker now live, ready to go on Lions on SI. We'll update it tomorrow with who has been talking to the Lions. Gabe Jackus. Keldrick Falk. Parker. You got it. And guys, also too, did you see who Amon-Ra St. Brown landed? Amon-Ra St. Brown is not messing around. Roger Goodell, 9 a.m. tomorrow, will be featured on the Amon-Ra St. Brown podcast. The Commish. The Commish. Danny Dennis Sutton. No, Repub, she was not there. The ones coming off of injury. The injury list. Roger Goodell. What do you think? What do you think Amon-Ra and his brother asked Goodell? You think they asked for a better pension? You think they had to have asked something money related? Yeah, that was the general sense. I couldn't hear any of the questions today. Which is funny because they had a boom mic guy right in my face. I'm telling you, man. Listen, with all due respect, tech people are not they don't get no Christmas cards from me. It's the combine. How do you not get the doc's voice booming? But I didn't ask Dan Campbell any questions. I asked Brad Holmes too. I asked the question where he goes, well, I've kind of been talking about the defensive end spot quite a bit too much. Let me back away from giving you my assessment. And then he answered it a little bit. You see how he laughed? He's like, it's like now every time we bring up defensive end, he twitches a little bit. Like, oh, no. Jason Mallard, sure, the NFL provided the questions. Right? Right, Xavier? Shout out to you. Shout out to Amon-Ra. Yeah, exactly. At Detroit Podcast, right there. You see the scroll right there. For more coverage, visit this site every day. And follow at Detroit Podcast on Twitter X. If you did, I was the best one there. All the information that you needed to get when you needed to have it. Fresh information. In the mix, all you could ask for. E-Fog, what up, Doe, to you? What up, Doe? Live from Indy in downtown, right across from Lucas Oil Stadium. I am literally in the hotel right across the street. I could literally go out the door, 2 minutes, I'm at Lucas Oil. Yeah, we got 9 stories up on the website. You will have no issues understanding what happened today from the combine. Nothing. You will know it all. You'll have clips from Dan Campbell, clips from Brad Holmes on the website. So my biggest takeaway is I think there's a lesser of a chance of a splash in free agency, but Dan and Brad are talking. And also Dan said, and Kelvin Sheppard confirmed it today, that Dan's been involved in the defense still, but has been looking at the cut-ups. They want less explosive plays. They want to figure stuff out. But Kelvin Sheppard got one off today. Couldn't believe it. Kelvin Sheppard was like, and I'll share it here. He was like, yeah, we have some things to work on. We got to get to the next level of our defense. But he's like, what's with all this talk? He was asked directly, are the Lions, should they run less base defense and run more nickel like the Seahawks and like the rest of the league? He's like, you know they have Emin Worry, right? The freak from South Carolina. He's like, I'd run nickel if I had him. But he's like, we are not going to change our identity for nobody. Read the article in depth. And my biggest takeaway is with the injuries that I'm concerned about the safety spot. There's still a question mark. Like, it wasn't like, oh, they're working hard and it's like cautious. We're in February, though. It's February 24th, 2025. Get your questions in one last segment before I get out of here. Super chats get to the front of the line. Please smash the like button. Have you liked the coverage? Do you want more? I feel like we've been in the mix. Oh, I got to pull the audience because I didn't even think about this one. I forgot one. I forgot a banner because it's not the top of my things that I'm happy with. I might skip it, but you'll tell me if you respect me less. I'll ask the audience for a pass. We'll see. The Lions are headed to Germany. And it feels like the whole media world wants to spend the $4,000 to go, but this guy. Everybody seemed excited, but me. I'm not excited. Listen, guys, we do good at the website, but not that good to cover the expense. It would be probably a little bit of a loss. It would be a write-off. We have it in the bank. But profitability-wise, do I take someone with me? 2 tickets. My wife wants to go. I am leaning toward just not going. It's an experience. What if it's in October? Oktoberfest? What kind of guy who enjoys alcohol, having a good time, would not go to Germany in October? You get a bye week, stay a little extra, a little vacation. The problem is the whole scenario surrounding it. The problem is I don't want to travel 8 hours on a plane to Germany. Should I go to Germany? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Would you find it? I mean, the whole media world might go. News, free press. Could Doc cause an international scene? International Doc. Can you? I don't even have my passport. That's the funny part. You can get it, whatever, expedited. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Should the DOC go to Germany? Not feeling it. Isn't it? Aren't we playing? The stadium is in FC Bayern Munich Stadium. So maybe the day of the game. 17-game season, and one team loses a home game in the process of an international game. And this year, that's you, the Lions. I think. Am I right? The Lions lose a home game. Coach is like, get your butt out there. Thumbs up. I don't know, man. It's expensive. And I always go with my gut. That was yesterday, Steve. Now, you got to also think about it, Steve. In the end, you're then calling general manager not the brightest. Remember, he traded 2 third-rounders for a wide receiver. Your general manager probably echoes the sentiment of your defensive coordinator. Wait till you hear the audio. I got to find a way to play the audio of Kelvin Sheppard. He's like, yeah, great. The league goes up and down. He's like, the league can play nickel all they want. We're not doing it. Your general manager loves offense. Mike Evans is pretty sweet. Would probably make Jared Goff a lot better. Alec Pierce has the most contested catches right alongside Amon-Ra St. Brown. Watch the tape. So not saying that they're going to get all 3, but a Trey Hendrickson, Alec Pierce, or a Mike Evans would not be too bad. Just an NFL money grab. Right. I don't want to pay it. I'd rather put it in my pocket. Give it to my kids. Okay, see, this is what drives me crazy. People want a player they can't have. I think Pierce is available. Free agent. Mike Evans. Trey Hendrickson's going to be expensive. But yeah, you're right. With Decker staying, those are all tough. But I listen, Vito is just following my instructions. I'm in the all-in mode. That comes from me, Steve-O, baby. I'm ready. Like, I want the payoff already. Couple super chats coming in, baby. I like it. Mishanuga, wish you were on that podcast tomorrow. I know, right? So one of you guys just tag Amon and say, hey, get this guy on. It might be the season finale. I mean, with Roger Goodell, that's a season finale. So say, hey, text them and say, hit the at Detroit podcast on their podcast and say, hey, get this guy on next season. Nuga wants me to go. Just go cover the game in Frankenmuth. Oh! Grab the tin and pretend that I'm there from Frankenmuth. Yeah, like I said, I'm not feeling it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you knew it was going to happen. I'm not feeling it. I don't know. The Lions are going to Germany. Are any of you considering it? Family trip? I'm not feeling it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Should I go? And then finally, the thing that was the most eye-opening from Kelvin Sheppard. Now, not everybody that got a credential was allowed. Just a handful of like 8 beat writers. Myself and most of the daily guys were there. But some of the content creators were not there. And we got a chance to have a deeper conversation, and you will find it's going to air on YouTube. They did the whole setup. It might be there now. You guys will tell me. Alert me in the comments when it's live, because I'll be back tomorrow for the defensive ends. But Kelvin Sheppard was asked by a reporter, and it was a good question. He's like, listen, you guys play the most base defense in the league, and the Seahawks play a lot of nickel. And he's like, and I quoted exactly what he said. He said, everyone's telling me about this Seattle nickel, Seattle nickel, Seattle nickel. He's like, they're playing a 4-3. And he's like, I just talked to Mike McDonald. And McDonald's like, everyone's calling me some kind of guru. And he's joking around like, I'm just playing to my strengths. Tackle the football, play good coverage, do what you got to do. But he's like, do you know who the nickel is? He's like, the nickel's a freak, 6'3", 225. He's like, we are not changing our identity. And he said into the camera, I think the camera's facing Kelvin, because if you saw my face, I would have been like, he said, Seattle's defense runs a version of ours, a system version of our defense. And he's like, all offensive coordinator. Listen, man, and I get it. You're positive. But it's like me telling Booner, man, I love your podcast. Love it. Love your podcast, Booner. It's great. I really do love his podcast, but think of the metaphor. Yeah, man, it's great. I think a lot of these coaches and that are athletes might not be understanding the concept of these coaches blowing smoke up their ass. I really believe it when I was listening to that. He's like, all offensive coordinators, including Dan Campbell, Mike Kafka, told me my defense was a nightmare because of the test that it gives them and the challenges that it presents. He said it into the camera. But he also acknowledged the weaknesses. He's not delusional, but he's very confident in the defense. They got to make tweaks. They got to be, obviously stop with the explosive plays that they give up. Because there were so many people, I asked him about the Miami interview. I wanted to ask, and I probably will at some point next year or when they draft, when I talk to Brad Holmes next, the Lions are the slowest to pressure in the league. I wanted to ask him, do you value that? Do you care that you sack the quarterback, but it takes you forever to do it? And teams that get the ball out quick expose you. So that question didn't get, but pay attention when the Drew Petzing and the Kelvin Sheppard interview come out. I think you'll like it. What do you think about Kelvin Sheppard? Wow, he's confident, and he portrays it. I expect that those two interviews will come out tomorrow, if not tonight. Rich Forrest, Shep, coach better. I hope you hear the question. I said to Kelvin directly, for your defense to shine next year, what do you need from Terrion? And he said, play better, talk less. I said hello to, I posted it at Detroit Podcast, AG's Burner. I asked Ben Johnson, I said, and I phrased it this way, and I shared it. I said, what advice would you give Drew Petzing so that he can last more than 1 year with Dan Campbell? And Ben chuckled. He said, I don't need to give him advice. He's going to be great. Because I was near the front of Ben Johnson, all the Detroit media were in the back. They did not do as much of the other interviews. I was like a hawk today. I was almost in every one. I enjoy listening to coaches in that environment. So I asked the Drew Petzing question to Ben Johnson, and I posted it at Detroit Podcast. So I saw Brad and Aaron were talking at the same time. Or Dan and Aaron. One of the two were talking at the same time Aaron was. So I didn't see Aaron Glenn today. Perfect. MC3, watch him. I asked Drew Petzing. What did I ask Drew? Come on, memory. Don't fail me now. I said to Drew, Dan said it took you only 20 minutes to impress him. What did you do in that first 20 minutes? And he kind of hemmed and hawed. So I asked 3 coordinator questions. I did my work today. I'm not shy. I know what to ask now. At my age, I know what to ask. And I know that my questions are just different than everybody else's. So it's a unique perspective. I'm happy I was there. Brent DeWitt, shout out to you, my brother. Wish he'd stop putting Aleem on the edge. Need his push up the middle. Right. We didn't ask that either. But that was out of necessity. Yeah, that was to try. They ain't going to do that. Germany is about drinking, not eating. Buy a pretzel. Are any of you going to Germany? Donkey Kong is right to the point. Lions do not have a starting corner. Hey-oh. That's good. The Lions video team is turning it out, so you guys get the information. I'm happy to hear that. Let me tell Vito that Drew Petzing video is on YouTube. Petzing should be on YouTube now. What do you think the biggest takeaway from if you watched it? It's good. They're good interviews. All right, get your last questions in. I'm about to head out. Have a cocktail with Lucas Booner Hefe. I'm going to dine and dash at the JW Marriott. Take a video. Order up some drinks and run out the door. I'm kidding. I've never done that. But you think about it. Like, what happens if I just got up and left? Today's show was good. Give you a recap a little bit. Any last questions that you have before I get out of here? Super chats, go right to the front of the line. Whew, it's a long day, man. 9 articles. It's a grind, man. It's tough. It's a grind when there's so much content, so much information that we still didn't get to. But I think I'm giving you a slice of what's going on, opinions on what happened. And everybody's been friendly. A lot of friendly nods. Nobody has a stank face. Everybody's happy. It's like an NFL convention. And I also got to meet my colleagues from Pittsburgh and see them again. It's always good to check in with those that are here that do the same job as you. But it's just a busy time. Are you enjoying the coverage? Can I do anything better? Let me know. I'm doing the best that I can. But yeah, this is a young man's game. But I'm feeling good. I'm in the mix. Unbelievable. We're about to sit down with Drew Petzing and Kelvin Sheppard and Taylor Decker. You couldn't wait till tomorrow, T. He probably saw the Trent Williams stuff, was like, uh-oh. Because NFL, not for long, they could have got his replacement. He's like, I'm back. Send me. I'm glad the stream works. I'm paying the $4 extra for the streaming internet. This place is good. It's a good place. Convenient. No, I go to Allen Park. I like the facility. It's always good. Reporters, GM, scouts, coaches all only have so much time to interview. Yeah, 15 minutes each. I have not seen any places, but I would not do that. I'm on a work. I like your guys' comments about Chef. One more super chat came in. Let's get it down here. The 4th super chat of the show. Ah, there it is. What is Drew doing tonight? So he was asked, what are you doing when you got nothing to do? He's like, he likes to get out of the town. So he's not going to be in downtown Indy. He's not going to be at the JW Marriott where I'm going. He's going to go probably 20 minutes north of here, enjoy a quiet time with the fam. He wants to get away from the hustle and bustle of the NFL world. Get away from the hawk like Doc. You should have seen me trying to hunt down Tony Khan. I was like a fanboy. Mr. Khan. I was like, from me to the screen, I was like, Tony Khan, Mr. Khan. And he's like, I got a meeting. Didn't even have a chance to say I'm a big AEW fan. I said, Mr. Khan. And he was like, and that was it. So, yeah, he's going to have time away from Indy. He's like, I got nothing to do. I like to get out of this town. And he'll probably come back tomorrow for all those interviews. He's not staying in Indy for dinner. He's going to get out maybe 20, 30 minutes. He has a place maybe he likes to go to that's outside of this town. And there are a lot of places. Downtown Indy is the hustle and bustle of the NFL world, but you can drive 10 miles north, 20 miles north, and there's still a lot of places to eat and have a good time. Is Booner zesty? I'm going to go find out. I don't think so, but I'm going to see if he's got game. I'm going to hit on a lady and say, hey, I'm going to say, that guy's rich. That's just going to be my line. I'm like, that guy, that guy, he's the president and CEO of a major digital company. And let's see how he handles it. Right? I'm going to say he's the president of a multi-million-dollar media company. Is he zesty? TM. Scandalous. But my answer would be no. Tell him he's Bill Gates' son. That's Bill Gates' son. That's perfect. Oh my God. That's Tony Khan's son. That's Sheila's nephew. Sheila. No, see, we're in Indy. So, Booner, please forgive me for what I'm about to say. I'm going to say he's Pat McAfee's stepson, stepbrother. That's Pat McAfee's stepbrother. Booner. Sometimes McAfee lets him stay at the guest house when he behaves. That's Pat McAfee's stepbrother. The one that he doesn't really like. So tomorrow's show, make sure you tell Booner, how's Pat McAfee? Oh, you guys are brutal. You guys are funny. All right. I'm going to go meet up with him, laugh at him, and tell him what you guys were saying to his face. Thank you guys for the hour. I'm off the clock. Please enjoy the content. Thank you for watching. Cheers to all of you for tuning in. It means a lot to me that 300 people on X and on YouTube are watching. But it is time. My day is over. I'm going to hit the downtown Marriott. I am the Doc, and I represent the Detroit Sports Podcast, which I founded with Adam Strozinski in 2013. And this is all made possible thanks to On Sports Illustrated. I love you guys. You guys are great. You're fun to talk to every night. I hope to bring you good content each and every day.